Welcome to this week of Fly Rod Chronicles. I'm your host, Curtis Fleming. We're in wild, wonderful West Virginia, my home state. This past summer in 2016, we had, some people's calling it the 100-year flood, 1,000-year flood, worst flood that we've ever had. It's tragic. What you all are about to see is sad. It will humble you, and it is something that I hope we West Virginians or any of our viewers out there ever go through. We are West Virginia strong, and you're going to see us bounce back. You're going to see us come back with smiles on our faces and catching fish and doing what West Virginia people do. Stick around. I promise you, this is going to touch your heart.
Traveling the world, fishing, enjoying the great outdoors. Those are things that would have seemed impossible to me when I was a kid growing up in the mountains of West Virginia. I'm a lucky man, and I never want to forget it, and I'm hoping that sharing my experiences with folks will inspire them to do the same. I'm Curtis Fleming, and these are my Fly Rod Chronicles.
Today on Fly Rod Chronicles, this entire show is going to be shot in my home state of West Virginia. You know, I tell everyone when they ask me what West Virginia is like, I tell them it's the most beautiful place in the world. I tell them that we got the coolest, biggest, largest playground right in our backyard. I'm a proud West Virginian. I can't tell you how many memories that we've made here in our home state. And you know, West Virginia truly is one of the most beautiful states in America. And overnight, without anybody even knowing that it was coming, it got turned upside down and into a national disaster.
An entire town submerged. This in one of 44 West Virginia counties under a state of emergency. The governor today asking for federal assistance from FEMA. The search continuing for those still unaccounted for. Meanwhile, the National Guard is out cleaning up destroyed neighborhoods across the state, where more than 32,000 homes remain without power. Those affected banding together with what little they have left.
This has to be the focal point for the heartbeat of America. These people are just goodness personified.
We're going to take some canned goods down to some people. But you know, I can also help somebody by taking them fishing. You're going to get a chance to meet Wes Phillips. He's our special guest. And on the way down, I'm going to take some of these canned goods and drop them off to some people that really needs them. And that's how we help people in West Virginia.
I just think it's cool that somebody found me to do it. And I can't stand taking stuff from people, but you can't resist going fishing, you know. But I mean, I can't thank you enough. It was just a day away, not that I'm wanting to be away from my family, but like I said, it's peaceful.
You know, this is really cool to get someone like Wes out. Not only is he a veteran, but he lost everything in a horrible flood.
In a nutshell, it's pretty much everything. Like I had to find out where I was going to buy clothes, food, where I was going to spend the night, where I was going to live, even to shoes I was going to wear. Most of my family and her family were all affected by it in one way or another.
When we were looking for a guide down in that area, we knew who to call, Jay Cabelas. Not only is he one of the best, during the flood, he was rescuing people. He was taking his boat out and helping people.
You know, luckily I had the drift boat with me, and I was able to get a number, several people that were in pretty precarious situations out. We had people trapped in houses, had people, watched vehicles, float down the creek with people in them and swim into the trees, and I was just, happy that I was there and had a boat.
Jacob, you got us down here in southern West Virginia, huh?
We do. Yep. We'll see if we can't go catch some fish. We'll get Wes out. Today's gonna be Wes's first day throwing flies.
Nice.
We've got low water, but good water. We got good conditions. So
Yep.
we'll see what we can do.
What do you think, Wes? You ready for this?
Yeah, I haven't fished for a while. Rod fishing.
Yeah, you've been kind of out of commission for a little while,
since June, end of June.
Yeah. So all your gear and everything got kind of washed down the river a little bit, huh?
I restocked that.
There you go.
I had to.
You got to. Priorities, right?
Yeah, it was a must.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get them into some fish, I think.
Yeah.
We got a real pretty morning.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Let's go do it then.
Let's do it.
Stick around. Fly Rod Chronicles will be right back.
This segment is brought to you by Fly Rod Chronicles Signature Rods.
See, we can't go catch some fish. We'll get Wes out. Today's gonna be Wes's first day throwing flies.
Nice.
We've got low water, but good water. We got good conditions. So
Yep.
we'll see what we can do.
With having Jacob out there, it was so cool because it was like fly fishing 101.
Teaching beginners is awesome because it's, that's the future of our sport, and that's the future of what we do. If we don't have new people coming in and learning the sport and progressing, then everything falls on its face. Wes has been fantastic. He's, he comes from kind of the conventional tackle background and fishes a lot. There are a lot of those skills that I think people don't think translate from the conventional world to the fly world, and the vast majority of them do. It's a direct translation.
People ask me, do you still get excited, Curtis, when you're fishing? You know what? I don't have to catch a fish today, but I am jacked about him, Wes getting his first fish. I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
There you go. Rod tip up. Hold the line. Hold the line.
Nice.
Hold the line.
There you go. In your former life, were you like a gunfighter? Because you're just like, you drew on him, man.
That's awesome.
Like Jacob. There you go.
Sweet.
What do you think, man? That's your first fish on a fly rod, huh?
Yeah, that's
job,
awesome,
man.
dude.
How cool was that?
Cool's not the word. Now can I just let him go?
Yep. Put him face down in the water and just let him swim out.
And he's off.
Dude, y'all got me addicted already.
You're addicted. It's crazy too how the fish survive. Some you'll lose, but how they find a way.
I caught the biggest bass a week later.
After the flood.
After the flood.
You go to the bottom, find an eddy line, find something with some suitable current that they can stay in, and then do their thing.
Because you got debris, you got logs, you got houses, you got vehicles floating down the water. They're probably dodging.
Anything you can think of.
During this tragic event, there was a lot of heroes. Red Cross, FEMA, so many people that come in. You're gonna see me talking to a guy named Jim. I'm a respectful guy. He asked us to call him Jim. At the time, he was Jim Justice, but now he's Governor Justice. And just to see what all he did for the community, for the state, he was one of our biggest heroes.
During the flood, Mr. Justice opened up the Greenbrier, and it was great. If it weren't for him doing what he did, people would have just been out on the street, literally been out on the street.
We went up there. Yeah, nice as could be. Yeah.
You went to the Greenbrier?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really have anywhere. We didn't have nowhere else to go.
It's what we do as West Virginians. We are neighbors, loving neighbors, and we do care. Like I said, I've just never dealt with anything where you go into neighborhoods and people with all their sacred possessions, if their house isn't gone or a loved one isn't lost, it's then it drifts into, there's this pile of pictures and photo albums and books and pianos of generations and everything. And then you see the National Guard come along, and thank goodness for them, and take an end loader and just pick it up and dump it in the truck.
Yeah.
All their memories, all their stuff and everything, it's just gut-wrenching. That's all there is to it.
Today's not about me. You know, it's about the victims, and they will be rebuilding the rest of their lives. And as you can see, we already have Wes addicted. We have him hooked. This may be something that he continues to do, and when times get tough and thinks about the aftermath and thinks about the flood, this is something that can just get him away and get him out here in God's country.
Welcome back to Fly Rod Chronicles.
This 1,000-year flood affected a lot of people, but we have so many things from time to time that you know, maybe aren't 1,000-year floods, but are devastating to each other and to our neighbors, and we need to always just continue to try to help in every way we can.
It's Westerville Ecological Services, time for conservation.
In 2006, we had what's called a TMDL, was published for the Second Creek watershed, which said that our bacteria levels, fecal coliform bacteria levels, were way higher than any allowable limits. We came in, we started working with farmers to put in these riparian buffers, exclude livestock from the stream, put in alternative water systems, so that way it was not going to decrease their overall agricultural production, but we could still protect the stream. On this farm, we were able to come in and actually stock brook trout to use as a biological monitoring organism, because originally this stream would have been a native brook trout stream. Right. The brookies were getting almost a hatchery rate of growth. The water was so good. Our overall species of fish changed from a lot of dace and creek chubs to primarily sculpin in dace. So we were seeing higher water quality fish come in along with the brookies that we stocked.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dennis. We
Thank you.
appreciate that. Yep.
So Wes, I know you guys lost a lot during the flood, and you're trying to rebuild and everything. Mm-hmm. We checked with one of our sponsors, Cabelas, and they want to help you rebuild. We know that you lost, you know, some fishing gear and things like that. And now you're hooked on fly fishing, right?
Yeah, I've got about double now.
That's it.
I can't tell the wife.
That's right. That's right. Well, Cabelas wants to give you and your wife a gift certificate to go and try to replace some of your stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
You bet. I'm a purist.
Well, so am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just pure catching, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Get it wet first.
Yeah.
Got a little cone head to it. Twitch this thing through there and see what we can come up with. He couldn't handle it, could he?
Nope.
It's good fish too. Nice, thank you, brother. Sweet. Good looking fish, huh?
It's time for Trout Unlimited's Release of the Week.
We decided to come down here and choose a couple victims that's been through the flood and lost things, and take them fishing and do what West Virginia's about, but do what we were taught, and that's to try to give back.
Now, along the way, you've met with some extraordinary people who have been there to help some of the flood victims. Mr. Justice at the Greenbrier, the folks here at the Hill and Hollow Restaurant. Talk about some of the people that you've met that have been inspiring.
Mr. Justice was just
absolutely incredible to us and you know, to the people, the victims, to open up not only America's resort, but you know, West Virginia's resort, the Greenbrier, to say, guys, I know you lost homes and stuff, but I got this, no cost. Come live at the Greenbrier until you get back on your feet. I mean, you know, in today's world with everything that's going on, who does that, you know?
Come back for more Fly Rod Chronicles right after this.
One way or another, I'm a fishing bum.
Talked to Curtis about getting y'all to come back down, because you know, we had a lot of powerful stories that came out of the flood. You know, talking about how people came together and communities really came together to help each other out.
It's actually good to see the community pull together something like this, because this town's never faced anything like this. This is the worst disaster ever.
People are working and putting their lives back together and putting their towns back together. And we need, you know, we're at the point now, we need tourism to come back. And everyone who comes to visit, and whether they're fishing with us or they're fishing by themselves, or they come in to hunt, they come in to look at the leaves or ride mountain bikes or just go have dinner in Lewisburg. It's every little bit, it helps bring those communities in these small towns back to where we were before the flood, and get everybody up and going again.
You get up and you rebuild with the help of everybody around.
And do you think White Sulphur can do that?
Absolutely.
And you know what you've done for this state and everything, and you know, you've built a company and you've displayed the greatness of West Virginia in all kinds of ways, and I thank you, man. I think you've done great stuff.
That means a lot, and we love coming down here and visiting your place and picking on your trout a little bit, you know.
Well, I pick on them a little bit from time to time too, and you know, I've been running everywhere in the world with this crazy campaign, but if I had my druthers, that right there's where I'd be.
That's the money right there.
There you go. Nice job. Get Tyson, pull that line.
Attaboy, Wes. Lighten them up. Hey, Wes.
Yeah.
Look up here, buddy. We got us a double. That's called a West Virginia double right there. How cool is that?
Nice job.
2 rods bent at once. Wes, I'm never the kind of person that would measure a fish. Oh, but mine was an inch bigger than yours. Attaboy.
Good fish.
You know, it's crazy though, the fish that survived the flood. I mean, it's, you know, it's just, it's mind-boggling.
That's it.
Look at
there
it.
He goes.
How cool is that? Man. Look at that.
That's some pretty fun fishing.
That's
Nice job.
yeah. So I'm seeing smiles on the face, huh? You're into this, aren't you?
The water's a little cold, but not colder than what I'm used to.
Well, you know, speaking of water, I mean, that's what precipitated this show. And, you know, we're standing in waters that, you know, back in June, it was probably over our head right here, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty dirty.
Yeah. And, you know, again, it's one of them tough things, Jacob. I mean, there was lives lost. You know, I mean, we met a friend that's still looking for his cat. I mean, you think, oh, okay, it's cat. Well, they become family, right? I mean, you know, but West Virginia, we're strong. That's our motto, right?
That's it. Yeah, I mean, we're back on our feet and getting back to the way that things were.
Well, Wes just showed us there's good fish in our rivers.
That's it.
Huh?
Yep.
And you know, we don't want to take away from, you know, I know, you know, it was a tragedy for, you know, for your family, for everybody.
For everybody.
You know, and there's some good things come out of it also through that, you know, with neighbors, loving neighbors, and
yeah, I mean, the way that the local communities, just everybody came together right after the flood, and still now, you know, to the point where, you know, people that are literally, you know, back and still helping the guy next door.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's building a new house.
Yeah.
Getting, replacing stuff they lost. You know, fixing cars, doing whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. And it's biblical. I mean, at least Noah got a little warning. He could build an ark, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have if you.
Oh well, yeah, if I had time.
If you'd had time, right?
Yeah.
That's too quick.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you smiling, and I got a feeling that we're going to keep in close contact, and you'll probably be hanging out with Jacob a little more now, won't you?
Anybody's having fun fishing and smiling.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Hey, thank you. Thank you for being with us, man. Jacob,
Curtis,
thank you, brother.
Thank you for coming down.
Appreciate everything you did.
It's my pleasure. Yeah. Glad to have you guys.
Appreciate it. So, not an easy show to do. I mean, we talked to people that had it rough in the state of West Virginia, but it's cool to put some smiles back on the faces. So thanks for hanging out with Fly Rod Chronicles. Come back next week.
I'm just a fishing bum. If I don't have the gas, then I stick out my thumb. I've gotta get there one way or another.